You guys, how do you get this delicious, wonderful, yummy piece of paper? Stay tuned and I'll tell you. Okay, I should have said I'll show you. So in a lot of these classes I'm taking, you're supposed to make your own papers. Can't think of the word now. Collage papers, that kind of thing. I have a lot made, but I thought, you know what? I'm gonna make some new ones, and I want to share this book with you. I might do one a week. So this is called Acrylic Techniques in Mixed Media, Layers, Scribble, Stencil, Stamp, Roxanne Paget. And I borrowed it from the library. Y'all, but if you get a Hoopla app, if you get the Hoopla app, they have tons of good books like this. They really do. And so what I do is when I'm looking at them, I just sort of screenshot things I'm interested in. But so I thought yesterday, well, I'll follow this. And then, you know, off I was, off course. So one of the things I want to work on is like the color wheel and making my own colors. So she had this idea of you paint pages based on 3 colors, right? So I started, but what I realized is, you know, I'm just going back to my paints and some of them are just not good anymore. I mean, they're good enough to mess around with and do this kind of thing. So I did some of the colors, but my blue is really messed up. So I will have to come back. You know, you do the main colors, then you do the secondary and all that. So you make and make. But one of the things too I did do is, let's see here. I use magazines as a substrate, right? They take paint really, really well. I didn't have any photocopies, but I did a bunch of mark making, and I'll show you that. And yeah, so they have, you know, do it on different things, add, you know, just do all kinds of stuff, right? Create all kinds of cool stuff. But anyway, if you guys are interested, this is a really interesting book. I got to return it, but I can always get it again. So I thought, you know what? Instead of just going through a book, let me show you what I made based on it, right? Okay, let's have some coffee. I was busy yesterday. Literally barely got anything done that I thought I would do, and you know what? I'm okay with that. So let's just start. So I did some of the pages. My blue was just not, I don't know. But I just did a bunch of painting, you know, painted pages, some different colors, some one color. Can you all see that in this light? Just using I have a bag. I've made bags, but this is like one bag of things that I want to color on or use when I am doing something to put paint on. So, and then, so I just did lots and lots. And that's some gray and white. So at the end, when you're just trying to clean up your colors, you know, you just throw them on. And I love things like this. So it has a kind of peachy color you can't see, but this will, you know, so this is just like the first layer. Now something like this is white and gray. And I could leave it like that, use it. Now there's 2 things, like sometimes I do the back because I want to use it as a book page in a journal. And then sometimes you're just going to use it as collage, so you're not going to see the back. So you kind of want to make your decision based on that. Okay, hold on, I'm annoyed by this sun. Better? I don't know. No, I need to move, but I don't want to. Okay. Again, so black, and these were really cool. These were a pad of paper placemats my friend had given me, and they have all kinds of interesting like graphic signs from diners. I had this thing for years. So I thought, and I have tons of them that aren't colored because they're going to be really cool to cut up for, you know. So I just did some colors on it, right? So then what you're doing is you're building up your stash, right? And then literally, and you know, I use book pages. I use dictionary pages. I love these. These are just pulls. So if you put too much paint, you can put another paper and pull off some of the paint. And I love these pages, actually. Now, I can still go along and do something with them. But yeah, so we have this. So I have tons of these, just solid. You know, this was a cool thing from a magazine, a bike. But yeah, so these are just, this was a picture book page. This is from an old Army annual. These are cookbook pages. So there's all kinds of things. These are my crossword puzzles that I finished, right? So they absorbed the paint really interesting, but I really don't have a lot of good paint, but that's okay. I'll eventually get some. I need to get a good blue and a good white. But yeah, ledger paper. This is just from a book that had all these numbers and dates and stuff. And then like this, one of the things you can do is when the paint is wet, you take something, you use the back of your paintbrush and just make marks in it. Could be good enough, whatever you feel like, right? That's the amazing part. So yeah, so these are just like the ledger paper. And this is like really just cleaning off sometimes your brush, right? So yeah, so I was trying to just have, you know, just tons and tons. So these are ready to go when I'm gonna do some jelly printing and stuff. All sizes, all colors. This is an old pad of paper I got years ago at a thrift store. And some ripped. This is, I made this blue up. This is an old Sears and Roebuck catalog. I love them. They're really well. This is a catalog from a magazine called like Her Space. So this is a women's thing of the Dover. So yeah, so just paper, and not all like, this is a nicer index or school paper. This is thinner. And it all takes the paint differently. So yeah, so this is like just pile after pile. You know, this is the back of a receipt. Again, recipe page. They take paper pretty well. Just notebook paper. Torn out of a book. Dictionary pages are great. You gotta be careful because they're very fragile. Anyway, so what I'm gonna do is just kind of divide them into cools and warms, right? So, and you know, here's a magazine. It was from a book on people. So I just started. I've done this, so I might use this in a journal page. Again, so much fun. So that's just the general of it. You know, I had a neon that I tried to color down. So this is just, I can't tell you the fun. This is a copy of a card I made. I made 3 for some reason, so I used that. Anyway, so these are all basically, and this is just, so you do the color and then you take a brush and put barely any paint on it. It's called dry brushing. So I did that. I love this pink, right? So it's so much fun, and it's an accident. This is just from a book, kid's book, and then I did like little scribbly things in it. This is a magazine page. This is from an old calendar. Love these. That's just, you know. So that is what basically was the first step, right? Like I said, I'm going to divide them between cool and warm. And then maybe a mixture. I don't know. I'm not going to overthink it because y'all, you know. And like this is, I was painting mostly on this today. This one was yesterday. And that's amazing. And then I was also just wiping my brush off. So, you know, you end up with these really interesting things. So now the next phase was today, I did a little bit of, I want to do black and some white and gray. So I did that, but I also used some purple. So again, this is just from a old book, not an old book, but like an old notebook, right? And just made marks in it when it was wet. I love, this is called sequin, right? When you make sequins, it's sequin ways, punchinella, actually. I love it. I love it. And you really, you know, when you're using acrylic, it can get wonky, but that's the point. There's no, you know, I found myself, I was looking at somebody who had put up some of their marks. And I was trying to, because I do dots and stuff like that easily. I thought, let me try some. And I'll come to it and I'll show you. And I was struggling. I'm like, Tracy, don't look. Just know and play yourself. Again, scribbling. using kind of a rough brush, so it gave it some texture. I love these things. So, and then this is deli paper, right? And then just painting whitish gray on that. So I have a bunch of those. But if you are a beginner, this is a really good book, right? She has some really good, I meant to go look at her Instagram, and she has projects and stuff at the end, but really to get you the idea, one of the things I didn't use a lot of, one, you can cut manila envelopes up to make your own stencils because it's a good quality, but also from Found Objects. Look at this. She took one of these pans like at the Dollar Tree that has holes and cut it. That's a great idea. I'll keep that in my mind. Using stencils. I haven't done that much yet, but yeah, so I love the Found Object printing, right? Like look from a spool of thread. So this is a great beginner's book, but you know, I just love looking at everything. So here again, this is just a waste page where I was cleaning things off on, but look at that. Isn't that fun? And that's just some like recycled paper from work. And so here's one of the pages I had watercolored and then just threw some white on it, y'all. Then look at this. Hold on.